All right, so the first question I'd like to ask, Nicholas, I think employers always want to know this. Your formal qualifications, please. Could you restate them?
Okay. So I have a BSc in occupational therapy that I obtained in 2011 at the University of the Witwatersrand, which is located in Johannesburg.
All right, and then are there any informal trainings that you've had along the path that you can recall? Just whatever comes to mind.
Yes. We've done APOM training. So the APOM stands for Activity Participation Outcome Measurement, and it was designed by Professor Darien Castellane from Wits University. So we went through this course. It was a whole day course, and it's a measurement tool that we use in our practice. And also we've done informal forensic training. So it was on the job training, as there's no training during undergrad. So we had on the job gaining experience and knowledge.
Were those trainings put to use in your career?
Yes. So over the last 10 years, I use them and um, to do assessments, to write reports for consultants, forensic consultants that needs to go to court to testify when we have observations.
All right, sounds interesting. I'll ask a few questions about the career path, but one of the favorite questions I've got before we get to the career path, Nicholas, do you have any early memory or moment or experience that pointed you in this direction? Do you remember what drove you towards occupational therapy?
So from a young age, I was very interested in the field of psychiatry. So I applied for medicine, but unfortunately, I didn't get into medicine. So then I had a looked at different opportunities, and I came across occupational therapy, and I looked into that, and I decided, no, this is what I want to do. To be able to treat someone holistically and just see them improve and reach the top of their life, the best quality they can get in life.
Do you have an achievement where that sort of a goal that you had originally has been able to come to life in your profession?
Yes, I think in South Africa we have a very diverse population. People come from different socioeconomic backgrounds. Some people come from absolutely nothing, and then on top of that, they have a mental illness which causes them so much debilitation and just puts them back so far. So the program we designed at the healthcare facility is that we take people with these illnesses and we give them skill. So while they're getting rehabilitation for the mental illness, we're also teaching them skills that they might not have because they have a lack of schooling or they've never worked. So during the program, we take them through, and some of the guys we've helped came from nothing, and today they're actually running their own coffee shops, their own personal businesses. Yeah, so I would say definitely it's rewarding, and I have seen it.
All right, that's inspiring. So, are there any measurements that you could, what do you think is your biggest achievement? And could you put some measurements to it, a little bit of a story, like an achievement story?
Okay. Yeah, so I think it's definitely using the activity participation outcome measurement, the APOM, so to track changes in the progress of mental health care users or the clients. So when they get admitted to the facility, we do an assessment to determine their level of functioning. Um, but also we look at what is their core, what is their interests, what is their values, their beliefs. We look at their culture, and then we design a program shaped around all of these. And then as they progress in therapy, we do 2 to 3 interim assessments. And at the end, we do a final assessment, and we plot this on a spider graph. And through that, we can see that any significant change has taken place. So we can compare it, and we usually keep this as evidence-based practice to show that our program is therapeutic and the clients are benefiting from it.
Yes, evidence based. So that allows you to justify and be sure you're on the right track and so on.
Yes.
How many people did you pull through this program, Nick? Do you have a estimate?
Sure. Yeah, so we've been doing this program for about 10 years. So I would say definitely 2 to 300, probably more, but it's definitely yeah, more than
Okay,
200.
great. Well, it sounds like you have something to offer in that area where you've got 10 years. I have a saying that 10 years you can call yourself an expert if you're passionately committed to something for 10 years or more. I think
Yes.
that's, you're an expert.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I don't have any other questions for the short version of this interview. One more is usually interesting for employers. However, your decision to come to New Zealand, how did that come about, and how did New Zealand get to be your first choice?
Okay. Um, to be honest, I think it's based on Lord of the Rings because we love the movies. So when you see the scenery and you're like, oh, I want to experience that. And then also I think it's also because of the All Blacks. So they are my second team after the Springboks. So it's also a big rugby fan. So I think, just having quality of life, peace of life, having certainty in the economy, um, the government, the services, you know, just when you see everyone getting along, the friendliness of the people. So I think there's so many reasons why.
I agree with you. It's funny that people find their way to New Zealand by these things that you mentioned, and
Yes.
then they discover these other things as well.
Yeah.
Nicholas, I wish you well, and I look forward to
Oh,
tracking you
thank you.
along your way to success. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.